dark times had us praying for some brighter days. Wishing well, but I'm really hoping for a change. Yeah.
This is Changemakers. I'm Eric Alvarez, and I am absolutely geeking out about our next Changemaker because he's all about nerd culture, pop culture, superheroes, comic books, movies, video games, all that sort of stuff. Juju Green, probably better known to his 3.3 million TikTok followers as Straw Hat Goofy, revolutionizing what we used to know about entertainment media. So as you can imagine, I absolutely jumped at the chance to talk to him recently for Changemakers, and I started our conversation by asking this. As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, who are some of the black changemakers in film, TV, entertainment that stand out the most?
Oh, yeah. Very easily, like off the top of my head, is Sidney Poitier, first black actor to win Best Actor, the Best Actor award. Honestly, super influential, changed the game ever since then. Directors like John Singleton, director of Boys in the Hood, Too Fast, Too Furious, Poetic Justice. Spike Lee, Regina King, Viola Davis, Donald Glover, like all these people are just so. They're Jordan Peele. We can't really have this conversation without having Jordan Peele currently. They're just all masters in their craft. They're all just kind of masters at pushing film forward.
Of course, there are a lot of people who've never seen those movies. So then I asked Juju what exactly they're doing to push things forward.
They're taking risk, right? And I feel like a lot of people, specifically when you're part of the Black community and you want to make any type of change, whether big or small, it's always a risk to kind of speak out, because once you speak out, people start to kind of like look at you in a different light. They start looking at you as too difficult, hard to work with. Maybe it's a message that not everyone could connect with because the Black experience is not something that everyone could connect with. And I feel like people like Jordan Peele, like John Singleton, Viola Davis, they have this unwavering, unapologetic way of delivering the message, because that's exactly how you need to hear it. A lot of people would tend to like kind of water it down to want to sugarcoat the truth and sugarcoat the messaging, so that way it makes any non-POC just kind of like a little bit more comfortable when they hear it. But if it's sugarcoated and the blow is softened, then you might not really understand the impact of what is being said. And I like applaud those directors, applaud those actors for unapologetically like just going out there and saying what they need to say. A big example is John Singleton. Something very, very simple is naming the film Boys in the Hood. When you look at the title of Boys in the Hood, it's in broken Ebonics, right? Boys is spelled with a Z, in the hood is spelled with just the N. In the Black community, we see that and it's normal, right? But then that's kind of like, even before you see the movie, it's the first step in saying, this is the world that we live in, right? Inviting you into it. And this is what goes on in that world. It is from the very first title reveal already a risk for people to even read that, let alone like deciding whether to go see it. And then you have the final message. Either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the hood. And that's just a powerful message to just say outright.
Directors like John Singleton really paved the way for the next generation of changemakers in film, like Ryan Coogler, the visionary behind the Black Panther films. Juju, as it turns out, actually got to meet him on the red carpet ahead of the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and just take a look at how that interaction went. A memorable moment, to say the least. So then I asked Juju if he had ever considered the fact that interaction was basically one changemaker, Ryan Coogler recognizing another changemaker, Juju Green.
Wow, like I never really thought about it like that before, but it's I'll talk about the clip really quick, like just that moment. And it's, you know, when he saw me, like if you look at the clip, you see me take a step back, and I literally say like, you don't know me.
Wait. You got the strange name. What is it? Yeah, movies. Oh my God.
Right? Because, you know, someone as influential and as powerful and creative as Ryan Coogler, who's also extraordinarily humble, to recognize that, you know, what I'm doing in the space and what I'm trying to do to kind of like, you know, put my little thoughts in there to like move the culture forward, and seeing him recognize that. I didn't think of it as kind of like, oh, this big change maker is recognizing me as a change maker. This is someone that I look up to, kind of like recognizing and seeing me for who I am, right? And I feel like Ryan Coogler just has an eye for that, and he puts that in his film so well. He's really good at like having his finger on the pulse of Black culture and kind of like expressing that on screen. But it makes me, when you put it like that, it makes me extraordinarily proud, right? Because, you know, it speaks to that we're all in one big circle, right? Like, you know, you have a big change maker inspiring someone else, and then, you know, hopefully I'm inspiring the next person, and hopefully there's a moment where I see somebody who, you know, has their Ryan Coogler moment with me, right?
And that seemed like the perfect way to end our conversation, by asking Juju in that moment, what would he want the next generation of change makers to know?
I just want them to know that being themselves, not needing to kind of like change who they are, not needing to sugarcoat who they are or code switch for anybody. I feel like authenticity is the currency that is the most valuable. I feel like that's what people need. And I feel like us in the Black community, authenticity is all we got. It's the best thing that we have. It's our greatest weapon. It's our greatest tool. And as long as you stay true to yourself and you stay authentic, you will succeed. And at the very least, you will inspire.